that song still hits.
Still a bop.
Still
a bop.
As much as we try to tear from it, it's still a bop. Jobber Nation, welcome to another episode of the Jobber Tears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Blacc. We are here, this lovely midday delight for you guys on the live feed. So we do want everyone to come into the lounge, come hang out with us for the next about hour.
Welcome TikTok. We got TikTok on the live also.
Oh, hello. Good afternoon to the TikTokers. TikTok, you don't stop to the TikTok. You don't. Oh, that was a good bop. But yeah. Oh, shout outs to the
Respect
Mr.
the craft, my guy.
To the Mr. in the building.
We got some parties, boo.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Shout outs to, I believe, Dre, if he has it, I think it's today.
Yeah, it's today.
Dre's supposed to be, Dre from Your Sports, a part of course, the Jobber Tears Network, will be on Respect the Craft podcast. So make sure to tune in and make sure to subscribe and tune in and give all that love to them. I believe that is tonight. But also you could put the detail in the comments, all those details as well, just so I don't fuck that up. What else is going on? What's new? Let everyone come in this afternoon.
You know, everybody gonna talk about Jada.
Oh, I was sitting here like, who's Jada?
Your fellow Virgo.
Who's Jada? You mean, no, she's her own queen in her own right and her own self.
Oh, now she's her own queen.
She's her own. Whenever I ever been like, Team Jada. I just want to know.
Is it not Team
I need everyone to absolutely. However, there are those very selective. Like I got an ex nigga that I used to fuck with. He's a Virgo. Would never do that. My dad's a Virgo. We already know how that goes. So I'm very selective on the. Listen, you can be selective as fuck. So please understand. If y'all could sign on it. Oh, that sounds like junk. Good afternoon. Hey, Remy. Shout outs to Remy in the building. Shout outs to Miguel in the building. 123_freak is in the building.
Where he at?
What's going on?
Freak.
What's going on, Kyle?
What up, Kyle?
Oh, Gene, I'm so sorry I didn't get to see you last week. You could talk about that. Your debut at House of Glory. Shout outs to the owner. And just an amazing mindset of the wrestling business. Brian XL, who was here with us preaching last week. Fact. And he on the live had gave Mr. Blacc an opportunity of a lifetime last week. So talk about your experience as a referee at the House of Glory show that just passed this past Friday.
I gotta say, it was an amazing opportunity. It felt good. Like, to me, that's my WWE. You feel me?
That's fair.
Just to be there, I was just like, wow.
Under the bright lights.
Right.
My man refereed the Layla Gray. And what's that girl's name? I like her a lot, though.
I think it was Kiki.
What's her name? I know you know it.
Kiki?
Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't confirm it. Mm-hmm. Nah. He half ass in the black hair movie.
Right. You dead ass part of the Black Hand, the newest member.
But they don't want to say.
Right.
He's like, oh, maybe not. And then you were a part of the 6-way scramble match that they had.
Son, when that nigga curve stopped him, we had on top of his, I'm like, there's on top. Oh my gosh, that white boy could go.
The B-boy nigga had me.
But the dude that he pinned him, I knew him in the federation I used to work with, I think last year, named VPW. Shout out to my nigga, he's not a nigga. Shout out to my white boy radio. Shout out to him, VPW. And like he been all over like Long Island.
Afternoon all.
And like how that, it's the first time being at Hog. I was like, eventually he's gonna get over here because he's nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of firsts. O'Shea was there. That was his debut match. Against your hot ass coach. He's pretty hot.
Shout out to my son Mac. Awesome. Yeah,
there was a lot. There was a lot going on in the city last weekend. HOG Comic Con was this past weekend. Shout out to everyone that had went there.
Radio, yeah.
Yo, that's problematic as fuck. Now that I think about it, you ever seen that movie Radio with Cuba Gooding?
Huh?
You ever seen that movie Radio?
Of course.
With the special needs kid.
Yeah.
Shout out to my son Smooth Blackman. Have to have both
Wrestling Reads on the YouTube. What's up? Hello. I've never, please introduce yourself. I've never seen this person on the live. I love it. Those that are actually on the live feed, if you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask us, we'll actually start off the episode with you guys asking us questions, getting our opinions on stuff. Look who's on the live on YouTube.
Oh, my nigga Ish. Hey, aka Samoa Joe.
He's not Samoan, nor looks like Joe.
He look just like him.
Jesus.
And my son Andre.
Yep. Shout outs to Drizzy Dre in the building. So yeah, if you guys, like I said on the live feed, if you guys have any questions for us this week, we'll start off the episode with you. But it was really dope to see you in the highlights of HOG. I know it was really good. It was a great feeling to see that, and everybody was super supportive. Of it. Have you guys ever heard of Alexis Gray? If so, do y'all think AEW or Impact should sign her? So I actually have never heard of this lovely young lady. So Remy, if you can tell us a little bit more about that individual, then I can. This is Anthony Love, the podcast. John, Stephanie Hardy, our inspiration to the Blacc Wrestling podcast. So thank you, Anthony, so much for that beautiful comment. So yeah, Remy, tell us a little bit more about Alexis Gray, and I can kind of give you an opinion.
So first question we have to the table was, what was the best wrestling rivalry and why?
I mean, for me, it's always gonna Loki's gonna be Brothers of Destruction. It's gonna be Kane versus Undertaker.
Oh, yeah,
that's
facts.
That's gonna be what I mean. Hogan and Macho, Flair, Ric Flair. I feel like versus everyone.
She's with WWE.
What about you guys?
She left WWE.
Oh well, who? Well, give me a picture.
She's a little baddie too.
That's probably why Remy asking.
Is she black? Yeah, she black. Let me see her.
All right, so you guys, I was like Flair versus pick any decade, and you just put one person. Yeah. Let me see.
You know what's a semi dope rivalry, and I'm happy that
she was a student in Chase U. She recently got released. Okay.
You know who was dope?
Who?
Sting versus the NWO. That was dope.
Actually, NWO versus WCW.
Stop trolling the internet. Stop fucking with me, dogs.
Do that.
Why you lying? You don't mean that.
That's not nice.
What do you mean?
You don't mean that.
First of all, we already know how you feel about Steve, so don't even do that.
Well, Steve is retiring.
And you're not gonna. We're gonna get to that because that may break my AEW ban. Because I really want to see Steve's last match. I want to be there and be like, I saw Sting's last match.
Listen, Dre, we're not talking about that DW 500.
We can touch on it.
No, we will not be talking.
We're not touching on that
because I have to be honest. I will not be fake.
Dang,
Dre, you can hit me off air.
No, I'm not supporting.
We're not talking about the BW 500 list. So, for people who don't know what this list is, our friend Dre said let's talk about it, but we're not going to talk about it because the PW is the top 500 black wrestlers of last year. Mm-hmm. I have some choice words about this list.
Mm-hmm. You go first. I go next.
But I appreciate that it's putting light on a lot of wrestlers who don't get light, and it's getting them some type of notoriety. We say this every year, and some type of spotlight. But I'm not saying anything else.
I mean, I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna leave it as this: is where you don't have a champion. You know, you have all my members of Jobber to yourself, but you don't have Big Time Yaya. Everybody on his list, including Big Cuzzo, Keith. Mysterious Q, he beat them throughout the whole year. A couple other guys on the list. But yeah, you don't have my guy on the list? Make it make sense. Do your research.
So I think a big part of it, any list that we talk about lists here and there, and we'll get into the PWI Women's 250 list because there is a good fact that I found out that I thought was very interesting in regards to the list. But I think it's just in return.
Swerve, don't mean his feelings again.
Who knows? I just think that in regards to any list, it's always going to be subjective. It's always going to be people's opinions. It's going to be good. It's going to be bad. It's going to be indifferent. And once again, to come up with 500 people, that's not an easy task. So I do want to acknowledge that. It's not an easy task
because if you could do put on the list, haven't wrestled in 2 or 3 years.
I'm not negating the actual individuals on the list because once again, it's not my list. I can have an opinion about it as you can have an opinion about it as you would have liked to have seen certain people. I would have liked to have seen certain people. That doesn't negate that. All I'm saying is that it is his list. He has a right to how he feels about his list. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I agree. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying that it's his presentation of the 500 black wrestlers that he wanted to present. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Anthony, I'm not answering that question. Go back up. There was another one up there.
What?
Question-wise. You didn't say favorite rivalry, but scroll back
What
up
about
if you
me?
can.
I did say my favorite rivalry.
You said a few.
What I said?
You had said Sting and NWO. That's
No,
what you
my
said.
brother said that.
Well, one of y'all said that shit.
So what is your favorite rivalry?
My favorite rivalry is the Wyatt family versus the Shields.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite rivalries. Yeah.
Okay.
Which one?
Wait, there was one for someone asked if we like beer. I've actually been wanting. I think you guys out of St. Louis, because when I came up for Rumble, I wanted to link, and I actually follow you guys on Instagram, and I actually like what you guys do, because you don't really find a lot of black people that actually like beers and that have been able to combine beers and wrestling in their podcast. Why can't Tony Khan answer questions? Because he don't answer. Because he don't.
They said Wilkins wrestled this year.
He don't know
He
the
should be on the
answers
list
to
of
his
the top
own.
people
See,
to
yeah, I
fucking
know you guys
sign
are
in LA.
from up there. Okay, cool.
No, I mean, listen. I'm not a fan of it, so I don't want to talk more about this.
Okay, that's fair. Any other questions before we do jump into some wrestling talk while you guys are here? I feel like there were a few
Are we
others.
going to talk about the women's list now? We want to go through
Wait, I want to answer some more questions or figure that out before. What are
What's
y'all?
your
Oh,
favorite-
that's a good question. Famous finishers of all time. Definitely like Doomsday Device.
I feel like all my finishes are just like transitional moves. Because my all-time favorite was a super kick and the Canadian. Yeah, I loved it. What?
Clothesline from hell for me.
Yeah, but like everyone does.
I was
it
gonna
now.
say Tombstone.
Yeah,
Low
mine
key.
is finisher now is I don't even know, because all the growing up it was the Canadian Destroyer, the super kick, and other one was the HBK elbow.
Macho's elbow's better, but I digress.
I didn't even watch Macho Man growing up.
Ooh,
like.
go. Ooh, child. Why would you? Ooh,
Someone asked
hurts feelings.
Someone asked who's gonna get married first. You know.
Why would you say me? Like,
Next
you're not in a
question
whole
is-
ass question. Like, you're not in a whole ass relationship, and you would be the one to propose. So how are you saying me first?
Next question is.
It could be your brother.
Someone
Shit, who
said
fucking
that
knows?
will CM.
Look.
Someone said will CN Junk go to Impact?
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
No,
They don't
supposedly they offered him a deal.
really.
See, supposedly the rumor is that Impact contacted him and offered him a deal.
I mean, if I was Impact, I would do the one-off for when you
Yeah.
when you go, because Impact goes to Chicago a lot, and they do like I believe Bound for Glory is in Chicago, is at Cicero Stadium. So because they do a lot of events out of that arena, I would do a one-off with him if I was Impact. If I could pull it off, I would do the one-off. Worst WWE champion ever.
Is the Wiz?
Jesus.
Are you talking about just WWE champions?
Yeah,
Um,
that's a hard one.
no, there's only one that I really
Who?
Gender?
not gender.
Yo, I popped for Jinder
his
Mahal. That was that Monday Night Raw.
Khali.
Yeah.
He put India on the map though, so I can't take that away from him.
Nah, he was bad.
He was bad.
Well, they can give him Pujami prison
Whack.
match.
Whack.
He was whack.
Whack.
Really?
The idea behind it was good.
What's
but
your favorite gimmick match then?
You know the answer, big dogs.
Okay, I actually
Elimination Chamber for me.
The original
Really?
for
Nice.
me is the original Lions Den match. Not that bullshit that they have in W now. The original one. That is my favorite match.
Shit was in a basement.
It was in the basement,
It was
dogs.
in the dungeon.
It was on the side, dogs. Do not disrespect my nigga Ken Shamrock. He fought.
it was-
No, the first match was he fought him. He fought Owen Hart in his
In the
base-
house, in the house, in the basement.
They fought in Owen's Hart childhood basement. Yes, it's called the dungeon, but regardless, it's still a basement.
Do you call every
son,
basement
There
dungeon
was a
then?
scene where like how that
That nigga was hanging from the wall. He swung off the wall. I'm fucking weak. Ooh, someone said Chambers. Goddamn. The rock bottom's finisher was garbage.
whole top. No, it's not when I was what? Huh?
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, young man. Anthony's a big fan of yours. You have him in stitches. Well, thank you, Anthony, for joining
Thank
us
you,
so
Anthony.
much. One more question, and then we'll jump into.
He was world champion, LeRon, 340. He wasn't like WWE champ, but I put him on the same thing.
Who?
Right. I just feel like
Great
world
Khali.
champion is world champion.
No. It's still. The
For
top
me,
of the
it's
shit.
under the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
Like the Great Khali was the worst champion. Ever.
Oh wait, he said WWE because I definitely was like, well, what about David Arquette? Because I know you hate that.
Well, same shit.
So someone asks, you think Rey Mysterio Logan should be Rey Mysterio? No.
I actually say yes.
No.
Huh?
No.
You see what?
Rey Mysterio should lose to Logan.
Yes.
Paul.
Yeah, I actually say yes.
So you root for the white man, of course.
It's not. First of all,
You like wrestling, so you root for a lot of white men.
damn, why you had to go back at him like
You got
that?
clip of that, right?
Yeah, you said he asked if I'm rooting for the white man. He's like,
No, that's
like,
fair. Because I was sitting here like, now why you just made it a black and white thing? That's not what we talking about.
This is why.
Because we already know Logan Paul is star power. So why would we do that?
Before we move on, I need to add another woman to the AE.
All white women.
No, all elite
white women.
The AEWW. So, last night in our world,
It's probably in your bag behind you. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Nick Young's mom and Nick Young had a face.
She was a little baddie.
my
She definitely. I was like,
So,
how old is this nigga?
So, ladies and gentlemen who are watching on the live, ladies and gentlemen who are listening on their podcast, or in case you're at home, at
well,
work.
Anthony is in Puerto Rico listening to us, so thank you so much for listening to us while you on vacation.
Yes, thank you, Anthony. For people who are going to watch this on a Saturday, I don't know what time on YouTube, whatever. The new inductee to the All Elite White Women Hall of Fame.
I feel like we should have like a Raptors like jersey things like how Melo has.
First we had Mandy Rose, the mayonnaise queen.
Oh God.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your potato salad with raisins out.
Oh, that's nasty.
Let's get your milk going.
Not expired.
The latest inductee into the All Elite White Women Hall of Fame. Nick Young's mom.
Don't even know her fucking name.
It doesn't matter. That
She
woman's
on
all
OnlyFans?
elite.
She are
Ladies and gentlemen, that is an all elite white woman.
She fine. I ain't gonna.
that couldn't act though, low key last night. I was sitting here like, what is going on here?
Ladies and gentlemen, get your potato salad with raisins.
Oh, God.
Enjoy it. We have a new inductee. Round of applause.
Yo, so do you think eventually she'll get with Christian?
Huh?
Do you think eventually she'll get with Christian? Like,
I
just
wouldn't be surprised.
Like, just surprise all of us and just start tugging him down in the middle of the ring, like on some Edge and Lita shit.
A nigga that wears a turtleneck consistently.
You can't trust him.
You can't trust him.
Can't trust him.
He is gonna fuck Nick Young's
Gonna
mom.
fuck the dog shit out of her. That's crazy. Robert Brown in the building from Lafayette, Indiana. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo, Robert Brown, we need to talk. Cause y'all niggas was trying to get WrestleMania.
He's in Indianapolis. That's not fair. She probably an actor. She wasn't. She probably.
No,
she
that's
better
not-
not be
that's
an
his
actor.
real mom,
That's his
dude.
real
Show y'all
moms.
niggas.
No.
Show y'all niggas.
That's
Ladies
his real
and gentlemen,
moms, but
Nick Young's mom is a
not
baddie.
an actor because she that what I saw on my TV screen was not acting at all. So that's his real mama.
Nick
Straight up.
Young's mom is a baddie.
You can tell she ain't never been in front of a camera like that. Like she's just like, come.
Yo,
like,
if
Nick,
you go on
what do you
Instagram trying to
mean?
figure this shit out.
Come on. Yo, and then he walked out and said, you should call me back. Like, I was just like, this nigga Christian is wild.
Listen,
Yeah, wild.
this is
Christian
Anthony. We need
Stone,
WrestleMania
swear.
in Minneapolis.
No.
Anthony, I'm telling you this right now. WrestleMania, I understand. Oh, okay, let's talk about WrestleMania locations.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. Next year is gonna be Philly. When the year after? I think
That's
it's
gonna be a dogfight right there.
They haven't announced the year after.
So
That's gonna be a fight.
But I believe Vegas is one of the cities that they are looking at too, because the new stadium out there.
ladies and gentlemen, we need to bring back WrestleMania to sexy cities.
Or cities you
So
can
to
have
you,
fun in.
what are sexy cities?
What's your favorite Mania city? City that I was
Wait,
gonna say
one
that you
question
went
at a
to,
time.
but you only
What
went to
question at a
two.
time? One question at a time. What are sexy cities? Sexy WrestleMania cities? New York, of course, but they don't have it in New York. They have it in Jersey.
Hold on. New York, Jersey, whatever.
Slash. It's always New York, New Jersey slash.
That's what it is. We can do Miami.
No, God, no.
Because Orlando ain't sexy.
Nah, it is.
Orlando, come on.
It is.
Come on, son.
I had a blast in WrestleMania.
You had a blast.
Orlando.
You are very simple and easygoing.
No,
nigga.
we went to Universal and we rode on the roller coaster with Bailey.
That's
we went
Orlando.
to Disney World. Right, that's
She
Orlando.
likes Orlando. But the thing about
that's my favorite WrestleMania.
Listen.
Hands down.
If I'm 100% single and I'm out here on these streets, I want to go with a city where the bitches is at.
But understand that
They-
stadium
hold on,
is
wait.
not in South Beach.
Yeah, hold on.
Where them bitches is at.
The
stadium
bitches
is
are
where
not
that
in
is.
Orlando.
The bitches
Ain't no bad bitches in Orlando.
That's not true. That is not
You gotta
true.
go looking for it.
That is
Miami,
not true.
I want some bad bitches in
Okay,
some bad
fine.
bitches. Atlanta,
Somebody
bad
have-
bitches.
Someone said Cleveland. Boy, no.
I had fun
Cleveland,
in
no.
Cleveland.
No,
I mean, you're not
no.
gonna find. You may not find bad bitches, but I had a good time.
We
in
need to go to
Cleveland.
Vegas,
Vegas, yeah.
Phoenix,
Phoenix. I would love
Phoenix.
Colorado's all right, though, so I heard.
Oh no, Colorado's lit.
Colorado's lit.
You
We
may
gonna
not
be
find
smoking
bad
on blowing
bitches.
weed,
You-
and you get some milfy bitches.
It's the one place
You'll load on
that
that one. You'll load on that one.
I'm fucking weak.
that one.
Oh, he said even though I'm from Chicago. I mean, Chicago, I feel like it's a good city too to have.
It's decent.
Mania.
It's middle.
It's middle.
I'm talking about sexy. Phoenix, Dallas was sexy.
That's what I'm saying. Out of the
Dallas was sexy.
What, out of the two?
Houston,
Oh,
Toronto.
Houston would be dope.
Toronto,
Toronto would be
sexy.
dope again.
Sexy city.
Those are sexy cities.
Now you know
Minneapolis, my nigga.
Ball podcast, and you know damn well Philly ain't sexy. We know
Come
that.
on, Oakland got some.
That is not
got
happening.
Some culture. Got some culture. It's culture in Oakland.
That
The
is
Bay Area.
That is true.
Get my E40 on.
No, we already did that. Gene said, "Imagine Puerto Rico." So,
Ooh, sexy.
as
Oh,
Puerto Rico
backlash
be
right
dope.
there. So you ain't no Puerto Rico.
But
It's
see,
good.
but for those that I know that had went to Backlash, they had said like that they're not prepared.
No.
They barely were prepared for Backlash. I don't think they can handle a
DR?
WrestleMania.
Well, hold on. What about the Virgin Islands?
Ooh. What about Texas and
far.
Caicos?
Turks and Caicos.
Oh, that's where we going.
That'd be sexy, right?
That's where we going next week.
You and your boo?
Yeah, well, yeah, his 40th birthday. So make
he
sure
40,
everybody
son?
he'll be
Don't he
40.
die?
He'll be 40 next week. So make sure
You look
everyone
good.
I'm not gonna hold
text
you.
him next week.
Philly got bad bitches.
They do.
Nuh-uh.
They do.
They're little hood boogers.
Mad hood.
They're
Mad
little hood boogers.
Mad hood.
I'm not going there for that.
No.
Cause
Yeah.
niggas is locked up. They don't let me
Oh,
out.
somebody said Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
But we got the Johns. That's how they say it, right?
The Johns.
The Johns are in Philly.
Yeah. You just like if you smash, you got to smash with all your clothes on your book bag.
Yes, he is right. You cannot put anything on the nightstand.
Nope. Your book bag on, your full sweater.
No, hold on. You put your stuff in the book bag.
Yeah.
Then you get butt booty naked.
Yeah, book bag on like this.
But you keep your boxes
So
on.
So you mean to tell me you fucking with just boxes on and a backpack?
It's a Philly chick though. Son.
It's a Philly chick.
And
You
a
gotta be
backpack.
safe. You gotta be safe.
Yes.
Y'all niggas is fucking with a backpack.
Yes,
on.
and just in case that I need to run, I got all my clothes in my bag, my sneakers, I can run.
Daytona.
Oh,
that would be
Daytona.
Daytona right
well,
there.
that's why. I believe speaking about Daytona, Royal
Charlotte?
Rumble. I could.
Someone
do
said
Charlotte.
that any obviously may not have baddies, but we got corn. Boy, corn is not even good for you.
I like corn though.
It's not good for you though.
Oh well, what else is? A lot of things aren't good
I
for
used
me.
to mess with a Philly chick.
Jeez.
All right, Ish, now you wilding out. No, ain't nobody going to Colombia. Niggas get all snatched up and all type of shit.
You trying to get us to get kidnapped?
Right.
Oh, well, what about Mexico City?
Now you really trying to get? Now you really trying to get caught up? No, I'm good on that.
Ooh.
That don't even sound appealing.
Toronto though would be fly.
Toronto would be hard.
Someone said
Toronto.
Rio.
If they
Someone
could
said
do,
Rio.
if they could pull another like Big Four in Toronto again, that'd be pretty dope. I would do that.
said-
Rio.
Philly Johns decorate their house with arrest anklets.
And we're gonna move on from
My
that.
son said Saudi.
So the only thing is like we wouldn't be able to go. Like you gotta think about
We'll
countries.
figure it out. We'll figure
Yo,
it out.
I would have to
We'll
speak
figure
me
it
on
out.
a cargo
Japan?
plane.
Japan.
I'm gonna go there. I might go there.
What?
Yeah, that's never been like a big like desire for me on a personal level. Like when John Cena went to the UK and was like, "Let's bring WrestleMania there," I was like, "Sign me the fuck up."
UK would be perfect. But what I'm saying right now, we need sexy cities.
Sexy cities.
Middle America, no offense. It's not sexy cities
not.
there.
It's not.
Hey, can I think about it? For me, You go to WrestleMania. You go to WrestleMania for WrestleMania and the city.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
When I went to WrestleMania, I said, nigga, I'm going to do something after.
Yeah.
I spent the extra 2 days there. I was out there like a tourist.
Mm-hmm. With your book bag on? Like
with my book bag on, taking pictures and stuff. I want to enjoy the city that I'm in.
That is true, though.
I got my wrestling fix. Now it's time to get my tourist fix.
And that's the hard part when you go to a whole city, because a lot of, like, even when we did that big group trip when we all went to New Orleans for Mania,
y'all
like
was friends
a lot of them.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. He said you lost friends after.
Y'all lost a lot of friends.
No, I didn't. There was a lot of shit popping off. But no, I say that because a lot of them, the beginning of it was way before that trip anyway. But a lot of them that did go, it was their first Mania. It was their first time in New Orleans. So a lot of like time management didn't happen. Like a lot of people didn't get to enjoy the city the way that they do. So that's why it's a catch-22 when you go to a city, especially you've never been to for the first time, and try to balance wrestling. And going towards, so like that was the issue with LA when we was going on the tour, and you was like, I'm not gonna make it. I was like, well, there that go.
But that's why I did an extra day. Like I didn't, because the thing about it, if let's say you fly in Friday, right? Most of the time Smackdown's gonna be there. So you're probably gonna fly in the middle of the afternoon, maybe morning, depending who you are. So you go for Smackdown. Then you could probably do something before you go to the night one of Mania. But then there's going to be stuff you want to do, like signings, all this other stuff. Saturday, the same thing. So, I mean, Sunday, the same thing.
Sunday, yeah.
And also a big thing that plays into the part is like where it is the time difference, too. So, like, us being in LA, like, we had to be in the building by, like, 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
So that cuts the day, like, almost in half.
Cuts the day in half. So that's why I was like, Monday, I stayed an extra day on Monday. Sunday I didn't have anything, so I did stuff on Sunday and Monday. But that's how you explore these cities. But for me personally, I want sexy cities.
I want cities I've either never been to or that I can go and explore, which was why I enjoyed out of the, oh my God, what now is 8 of them that I've been to. Orlando was by far my favorite. Nashville. I was so pissed I didn't go to SummerSlam.
Nashville would be dope.
Oh, that is, I forget how many years, because they're building that new stadium for the Tennessee Titans. That whatever that year that it opens, that's WrestleMania already has been bidded for that city.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Nashville will have WrestleMania. I think it's in another like either 2 or 3 years. Like when that stadium goes up.
Get some Nashville hot chicken.
I never had.
Nashville is amazing. Like I love the. It's literally the country New Orleans. If you've ever been to New Orleans and you've ever been to Nashville, it's basically just like country music, but just live band, and I think it's amazing. But
so,
all right,
2 questions. Someone asked about Keith D arrest.
He shot Tupac. Next question.
Someone said, "This is Anthony. Why my man came out Sir Wilkins with the milk statement?"
You said it.
What milk statement?
Oh, because he probably already know. Anyway, so all right, now let's jump into some wrestling stuff. Another list that came out was the PWI's 250 women's wrestling list, and Rhea Ripley topped off the list at number 1. Do y'all have the top 10 that you could pull up real quick? One fun fact that I found out that I had told the boys was, this is the first year that the 4 horsewomen have not been in the top 20
right here
of the PWI 250.
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. I don't know how to say that girl name. Julia. No disrespect, because I don't actually. I had to ask them. Yeah, I could.
She's from New Japan.
Number 3 was Bianca Belair. Number 4 was Jamie Hayter. Number 5 was another lovely lady from
Nakano.
looks like Japan.
Tam Nakano.
Number 6 was Athena. Number 7 was Deonna Purrazzo. Number 8, shout out to Willow Nightingale, a very good friend of the podcast. Number 8. Number 9 was Camille, former longest reigning NWA Women's Champion that I do know.
And tall girl,
and
right?
number 10, yeah. And number 10 was Jordan Grace. I'll even go a little bit more. 11 was Asuka. 12 was Toni Storm. 13, shout out to one of the fellow coaches of the Fallout show, Tamasha Slamovich, was number 13. Number 14 was Jade Cargill. Number 15 was Roxanne Perez. 16 is that Kyrie Sane? Probably.
Yeah.
17 is another Asian girl. I don't know her name like that. 18, Chris Statlander. That's interesting as fuck. No, that's interesting. 19, another Asian girl, love you. 20 is another Asian girl. 21, Charlotte Flair. We're gonna round that off there. But yeah, Charlotte Flair was 21. Becky Lynch was 29. Let's see, Bailey was 41. And Sasha Banks / Mercedes Mone did not make the list because she did not qualify for the criteria for the PWI, because once again it's from the past year, within the last year.
JC Storm is on this.
Yeah.
She's 242.
Oh, good for her. Let's see. Oh, who's up at 250? Yappy. I wish I really.
Jocelyn is on here. Jocelyn Navarro. She's 208.
Good for her. Janai Kai 205. Let's see other women that I do know on the indies. Savannah Evans 183. Shout outs to her. Holiday 180. Let's see who else.
Queen Aminata at 189.
Nice. What are you guys that are watching on the live?
50. Kiera Hogan's 54. 154. Chelsea Green is 150. Yeah.
This list makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Trisha so respectfully, Nasty Leroy. Shout out to Nasty Leroy in the building. Yeah, if I don't know how to pronounce any, I'm not gonna be disrespectful and try to even. I'm not even gonna go that route. Y'all just gonna have to look that up. Statlander puts me. It's interesting how Statlander's on this list and she was out majority of last year. Yeah. So it's very interesting that they went that route, and I find that very interesting.
She did really well though when she came back.
She came back.
Yeah.
Is Jade on here?
Jade was like
13.
She was in the top 20. Shout out to Janai Kai, your new MLW World Featherweight Champion. So that was dope. That happened this past weekend in Philadelphia.
I'm not mad at the list at all.
I just wish I knew who number 2 was, and I guess that's just to my own.
She's very like popping in Japan.
But Rhea Ripley at number 1 makes the most sense. She beat Charlotte at Mania. She's been consistently on TV, consistently having matches.
She's a faction leader.
Before that, she is the faction leader, which they don't. Rashad asks, how do you guys feel about Io being 27? I think it's solid for Io. I think, once again, her kind of branching out into her own, like this year, she may be a little higher as her being champion now. So, but no, I think overall, I think the list is solid. Once again, I just love the fact that we can highlight women in wrestling in such a manner that people will look up. Like me, not knowing number 2, I asked them immediately, who's this person? So now I can look them up, and I don't have to be like so confused about things. I can take my own time, and that's the beauty about, when these lists come out. It's going to be people you don't know. It's going to be people that you do know. I feel that Becky and Trinity got screwed out of being a top 10 to me. Why? I want to know why. Because remember, it's the last year. You got to think about within 2022 to 2023.
I feel like Becky didn't do much.
I think Becky's job was mostly to help put over Bianca in that year span, and because you got to think about, she came back for SummerSlam, won, and then by like maybe 8 months later, she had lost the title at Mania. So like that year,
and she was beef with Trish
why Trish Stratus is not on this list?
Because she didn't do much.
What?
She just wrestled Becky Lynch over and over and over again.
She didn't do much at all.
She didn't do much, yeah.
She only had one feud and then she was out.
The same can say a lot about some people on this
about
list.
Who?
But that's either here or there. Every ranking, Cakes Rhea is still on top. Okay, 1, 2, 3 Freak. That is your opinion. Bianca is top 2, easily wrestled every pay-per-view for the last 2 years. First of all, this name is hilarious. Basketball goats come from Philly, Kobe. That's hilarious.
The brain thing about the message people you don't know and undiscover, you can discover them as billions, and are brilliant to bring anything about this. Okay, all right.
But
I was like, I don't know what that means. Okay.
So I think I'm for the list. The list is pretty good.
It's
I think it's
solid.
solid. I mean, I would have liked to see Trish Stratus, even if it was 250, but neither here or there.
She didn't do nothing.
Trish Stratus didn't do anything.
All right, so your opinion, and that's okay. Once again,
and she was on the list mad times.
These lists are subjective, but
and this is why that Mickie James is on the list, because she did work.
Two PWIs thing though, they do have
Ralph.
A criteria.
It's me, Janelle.
Hey, Ralph Reigns. I was like, I don't know who
Ralph
the fuck.
Reigns.
I was like, of course it would be the most Philly nigga in the building.
That jacket, Ralph.
But yeah, what else was happening? Oh, I had mentioned to you guys that NWA apparently has gotten a TV deal from CW Network. where just like how Impact's on Access, where they will shout out to Blur United Media. What's going on? So CW, just like how Access is on Impact's on Access, CW picked up NWA's Power and will shortly be on their network. So what are your thoughts on NWA getting a TV deal before MLW?
So what's up with WoW?
Wait, can I finish my question? The WoW's still on. Shout out to Stephanie Hardy. She does a recap on their shows.
No, I understand, but like, what's gonna happen to WoW?
What do you mean what's gonna happen to WoW?
Because honestly, I thought that WoW was on CW, but I don't see it on CW like that.
It may be the time that it comes on, you may not see it. I've seen it come on CW.
I seen it on the app.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the thing. It's not their shows aren't live. So everything's pre-taped. So they'll just throw it on as they like. But as my question was, what are your thoughts on NWA getting a TV deal before MLW? And what are your thoughts on, so the owner, Billy, I forgot what band he's from, but the owner.
Smashing Pumpkins.
There you go. The owner discussed his idea of bringing back the territories. So it's a two-part question to you guys. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the TV deal? And then what are your thoughts on NWA's vision in bringing back the territories?
Why?
I don't know.
Why bring back the territories?
Why not?
But why bring back? Why would you want to keep your wrestlers in one place?
Talk about it.
There's no point of keeping wrestlers in one place anymore. It's a complete waste of time.
But does the territory? But in having the territory, does it necessarily mean they have to just be in that one place?
Then what's the point of having a territory?
Well, so that if you know, let's say you're in the Midwest and you run, let's say you run shows every other month in the Midwest, like you'll have a consistent roster for that show in the Midwest.
But
so you're gonna see this person, and this person.
But technically, the territories never died. They're just not mainstream.
Okay, talk about it.
Because what I mean by mainstream is the indies are still alive. For example, when you go to New York, all right, where you gonna go to? Battle Club, House of Glory. You're gonna go to Worlds of Wrestling and stuff like that. You feel me? Philly, they have their own federation. Delaware, all these other places across the country have their own little federation. So I feel like the territories never died. They just shift off the mainstream. Is more about if you know, you know. Like battle rap. Some people who's into mainstream hip hop say, "Oh, battle rap is dead. No one knows it." But you look at us, I love battle rap. No, it's still alive. It's just not as mainstream.
Okay.
Everything we have the Northeast, we have the South. We have promotions in the South. We have promotions in the Northeast. What exactly does it mean to have a territory? That means when territories happen, that means people only wrestle in that area.
Oh.
But so now you limit a wrestler from going anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You limit them, and to be honest, most of these promotions only book people who are hot anyways.
Exactly.
They don't really like put people who are up and coming on their shows like that.
What you talking about? Indies?
Indies.
It depends on the. I think it depends. I think it depends
on the booker.
I think it depends on.
Most bookers are the same way, especially in the Northeast.
Well, because you want to put asses in seats, and you know if you
and I understand that. The only way territories work if you book the same people consistently over and over again, and it's up and coming people, and you build them up for shows.
But I feel like any shows still do that though. I feel like a lot of them kind of do that.
But see, I think I don't want to say the caveat, but I think the thing with Billy Corgan doing, if he's doing it, always is going to be a money thing. It's always going to be like resources. And I think that's the one thing that at times disables the indies is having those type of resources, having the funds, having the means to do certain things, being able to get into certain places, being able to get a building, being able to get a permit, like those things. So like if he's going to be, I don't want to say the machine, but if he's going to be behind certain areas around the country doing shows and putting resources into that, I can't be mad about that. Like that's something that as someone that has as a co-owner, like you always have to look at resources, you look at sponsorship, you look at all these things of how to put on a show, and you don't always get that opportunity to have like this name person at your show because you don't have the funds for it.
But I also, like, you mentioned about sponsorship, and something that you said is it will forever be hard to get sponsorships because once you mention wrestling, they're gonna say WWE. Oh, it's not gonna WWE. Oh, okay, like their face literally lit. Oh, they're like WWE. No, like WWE wrestling to be there. Their face kind of like go, oh, okay. So even then, it's gonna be uphill battle. And even then, like, what if like these sponsorship? What if like they have a deal like exclusively we can only sponsor WWE. We can only sponsor AEW. And on top of that, it's just like it's hard. This is why I feel like if you want to bring some kind of sort of territory, it would be good for local businesses.
Yeah.
Like for example, you could send a who's at NWA? Dang. Oh my god! I'm like all the people I like is gone.
Yo, for real, actually.
Everybody I like is gone.
I remember the last time I had watched it.
Right. So
all the people I like it was dead. Okay.
EC3,
he's
right?
champion.
EC3. Let's say EC3 want to do let's say your gym is a part of the territory. He want to do advertising for your gym. You feel me? Your gym get more people coming in. He get the paycheck. So it gives. If he bring out some kind of sort of territory, it's good for those guys to have a good farming system.
But the thing about territories can't exist anymore. We are in a global world.
But technically, we do have territories.
We do. But the thing about it, it's when you run shows, you run people. It's like I can't run a show somewhere else. If you're just talking about running a show, particularly in just one area, that's fine. If we're talking about that, if they're talking about that's the territory, yes, fine. But the thing is, they're trying to keep wrestlers in one area. No, this is a global world that we live in.
Okay, I agree with you. Okay.
You can't take wrestlers outside. You can't make sure wrestlers only stay in one area to do that. Like
it's a hard task to ask.
Like you asking me to give up bread. I can make even a bigger brand for myself. If I go to New York and I leave the Southeast. Fuck out of here. Sit your ass out, Billy Corgan.
Somebody paying in Texas, let's say Billy Corgan is paying you like, I don't know, let's say he pay you a stipend for the whole month to like $2,000. Let's say that, hypothetically speaking, $2,000, the stipend for the whole month. And while someone else outside of the territory is paying you $10,000 for your services. Nigga, I'm taking the $10,000.
Ain't no wrestler making that much money.
Yeah, I was about to say, those numbers are a little high.
I'm speaking into existence.
No, I still say I don't.
So
I don't want to pay somebody.
Rey Mysterio is not gonna charge someone $10,000 to wrestle.
That's Rey Mysterio.
That's Rey Mysterio. He's not
an indie wrestler.
And he not gonna be indie. He's not gonna wrestle on the indies.
Let me ask you a question. Don't tell me the name. What was the most expensive indie town that you booked? No name, just the price.
What's the price you paid?
Indies?
Never been signed.
Maybe like 6, 7.
600 for one match?
Yeah.
These niggas.
Because you also got to think about travel. That plays a part in that.
Not including travel, just for his work, because I know travel's included.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes in terms of rate, y'all getting behind the scenes little info, but in terms of like negotiating and rates and certain terms like that, at times there are certain wrestlers where both are combined, so it's just one price, so that it's a lot easier for on our end financially to understand where the money going. But I would say
I wouldn't even do that. If I'm hot,
I would say
you
between
pay me $500. And you pay me for my travel.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So but that's what I'm saying. The catch-22 is like when you build, and that's why it's important to build relationships, especially with those people you can actually like touch, and you can be like, yo, we've had conversations. Like a certain group, like basically gave a fraction of what they normally would because of the relationship we had with them. So like those certain instances, but I would say just for all intents and purposes, I would say between 500 to 700 would be something. Now there was one particular person.
For a 10-minute match.
There was one particular person that their rate was like 400 or 500, and I absolutely.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Didn't agree with paying
did
that
you talk
price
it down?
For I didn't agree with paying that price for that individual because of the fact that it was going to be a 10-minute match. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, logically, paying someone that much and then where's the return? You know what I mean? Like, it's
that falls on y'all.
Weird.
So, but the thing about it,
it falls on the person.
Wait.
It falls on somebody.
I'm going to say this. It's something that yo, if you're going to pay someone that much money, you doing a seminar, you talking to the students, you doing something else.
See, but seminars become a whole different price line. That's a whole
Dogs.
That's the thing with a lot of people on the independent scene that as a fan that will never understand. Like every time you open the door for another thing that happened for the individual, and granted, it's because if you're flying in this person or this individual for even let's say 2 days, like what can you get out of them in that sense? But then that becomes a different conversation of like, are you charging like the money for the seminar? Is it going to you or is it going to us? Are we splitting it 50-50? Are we splitting it 60-40? Those are the conversations you have. Or are you just doing the seminar and you keeping all the money and we're just promoting it? Like, those are the difficult conversations that as independent promoters and bookers and people that are involved in that shout out to Michael Boss in the building. Those are the conversations that are had, and they're uncomfortable, but that's just the business side of it. So, but it's like I said, when you have someone that's willing to give a certain resource, you can't always shoot it down. You got to kind of see it for what it's worth and see how it goes. So like if Billy came up and was like, yo, I want to put resources to Battle Club, I would have a conversation.
So let me ask you a question.
I would absolutely have a conversation.
Randy, I'm thinking about people. You think Tessa Blanchard will ever wrestle again?
Hold on. We need to finish this conversation about this money shit. Wait, hold up. Before you go to Tessa. First of all, the boss just emailed me. But we're going to finish this conversation. All right. First things first, there are some of these niggas y'all be paying, because I see the list.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm talking to you niggas right here. Talking to you niggas right here. All right. I've seen how much y'all get paid. Now, some of y'all really deserve more. Not gonna hold you. There are some wrestlers, and I'm talking to you right there. You are undercharging for your talents.
And services.
Services, talents, brand, all of that. Undercharging. Y'all need to boost that up to like $25, $50. That's number one.
But then on the flip side.
That's number one. Number two, I'm going to get to number two. I got you, my nigga.
Okay.
I got you. Number two, if you asking for this money, some of y'all asking for big money and y'all deserve it, but y'all don't cut no promos.
Nope.
Nothing.
Y'all don't promote the show.
Don't post a flyer.
Y'all don't post a flyer.
Don't sell
and
tickets.
You expect niggas to pay you?
Yeah.
I'm paying you for a couple things. Your amazing talent.
Agreed.
Your star power.
And your brand.
Oh, actually, I'm lying. The highest was 1,000. Oh, fuck. But they were kind of. Oh, fuck.
Because these niggas and these women be wanting this money.
No, it was before he got signed. 1,000. That was the highest. And I didn't agree with that.
They be wanting this money.
I think now it would have been warranted, but then it wasn't.
Hold up. They don't put butts into seats. They don't promote the show that they on. Nigga, you got how many followers? And you don't even put a flyer on your page?
That is true.
Not even in the story.
At least 2 days before. Throw the flyer up. And maybe your fan base ain't in New York. But you don't know. Maybe I was like, yo, I've been following for so long, I get to see him live?
Yeah. And that was the whole thing. That's why I appreciated Simon.
Simon,
I can name drop
fuck
that.
Simon. Fuck Simon real quick, but I love that nigga. I love that white boy.
But when it came to on the business side of things, he was absolutely like, yo, I will come. I'll talk to the kids about media. I'll talk to the kids about training. I will come and share that knowledge, because that's really, and that's one thing I can appreciate about actually Natalya and TJ's dungeon, that where they have people come. They have their own like dungeon down there in Florida, and what I could appreciate is every person that does come to their like thing, and like there are students there, like it's a give back. And when you come, especially on the indie scene, when you come as someone that's been in the game 10, 15, or not even, when you come, you always got to think about like, how can I give back outside of the wrestling, outside of me putting my body on the line and taking a bump and doing all that shit. How can I give back? And one thing I will always be appreciative of, especially Simon, was the fact that he came, he did a seminar, and he talked about social media. He talked about the impact of social media for wrestlers and people that want to be in the business. So like, I'm very big on, especially that people that come from afar and that are going to be here for a few days, like how do we connect you with talent? How do we connect you with the students and things like that? So he's like one of the few PWW that I can appreciate. Santana, I could 1,000% appreciate for always coming and showing love to the school. Like those are the people that come back home or come to your city and they give back to the actual wrestlers that this is their dream. Like this is what they want to do. So I can appreciate people like that.
The thing is, what I realize about a lot of wrestlers is a lot of wrestlers are bitter. Like something may have happened in their training. Somebody do something wrong to them, and to this day, they still hold on to that. Like, there have been people that I have talked to, and they will look at me, it was just like, I've been doing this for so many years, da-da-da-da-da-da, this, that, and third. I don't know why you get all these opportunities. I be looking at them like, my nigga, suck my fucking dick, nigga. Understand that it took me, literally, people don't understand. Nobody's literally a overnight success. Nobody. No. Just because you see them prospering now, you don't know how many years they put on. They are suffering up until that moment. So I feel like a lot of wrestlers will ask for this because they bitter, and a lot of wrestlers who don't give back don't prosper. Like every wrestler I could think of right now who don't give back is always take. Where are they right now?
One person I loved that was backstage. It wasn't at a show of ours, but it was a show in Jersey we had went to. And when you had met Prince Nana, you came up and he spoke, like, just the conversations that we were having and stuff like he's definitely an individual that will come back and sprinkle knowledge into
Prince
you.
Nana.
Like, I can absolutely, like I said, I can appreciate those that come back, whether it's their home base or they're in whatever city they're in, and they give that type of knowledge to the students, give that type of knowledge, not only to the students, to the fans, just everybody in general. I'm glad to know I'm not the only wild and niggery on the network.
True.
Yeah, okay.
Super calm.
All right, so let's talk about this week in wrestling. Let's talk about from Smackdown this past Friday, where our good friend of the Jabatias podcast, Mr. Nick Aldis, is the new general manager of Smackdown. It was a sight to see. Let me tell you, if somebody would have told me 6 months ago that Nick Aldis would have been in between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, I'd be like, you a fucking lie.
He's young too. He's like 34.
He was a fucking lie. And the fact that Nick Aldis had to calm down Cody when they had that big NWA like rivalry, I was just sitting here like, yo, this is real life on the screen. I was excited. So what are your thoughts on Nick Aldis being the GM of SmackDown? And is this a great opportunity for it to be a real brand split this time? Because I know we've all been sitting here like, there's no brand split. Like, what the fuck did they do a draft for? But now that each show has its own individual GM now, are we going to go back to that kind of like just specific Raw SmackDown rivalry feel?
So first things first, shout out to my man Nick Aldis.
Nicky Aldis.
That's my guy.
Big Dick Aldis.
That's my guy.
You get the name right now.
So I'm going to pull the curtain back.
Big Dick Aldis.
I emailed Nick Aldis. I think he's gonna email me back. Because we had interviewed Nick Aldis. It's in the description below. We had interviewed him.
He did a drop for us.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We met him. He remembered us multiple.
Yeah, when we went to Dallas for WrestleMania weekend, and we went to WrestleCon, and him and Mickie James had their own table, and they were selling their like fitness stuff. And we went over there. We took pictures with him. We chopped it up with him. He told me I was his favorite. I love Nick Aldis. He will always, yes, I sipped out of it. You can't have it.
So
get your own shit.
We emailed him. I was like, yo, hey, we're proud of you. Congratulations. Because I remember he was at a Hog show, and I spoke to him briefly. He's like, yeah, I've been in talks with WWE. We're just trying to figure out which direction to go. And this was last year.
Yeah, I was about to say, that had to be a year ago at least.
It was, no, I'm sorry.
No, at least.
It was sometime. It was some.
Definitely more than 8 months ago.
I remember I was traveling and I came back. I remember I had just left the city. No, it was this year, earlier this year, I think.
Was it when you went to Minnesota?
Actually, it was last year. We went to Minnesota.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, I've been in talks with them. We're trying to figure out what's going on and how to maneuver it.
It was kind of hiring freeze too, remember?
Well, it was because everything was held up because of the merger. So
like they snuck him in as a backstage agent.
Yeah.
And he was a free agent, so that's why he was able to do indie shows and stuff at the same time, which was really dope.
So he had said that he was in talks. Like he had conversations with Triple H. They're trying to figure out what the direction to go to. So seeing him, when I saw the news break first, and I emailed them. And I was like, yo, we're really proud of you. Thank you so much. Now, listen. He didn't have to email us back.
No.
He did not have to email us back. He has too much going on. He's family, wife, like you just debuted on Smackdown. Like, yo, you don't got to. He
got a lot going on.
He emailed us back like, yo, hey, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate the support. Shout outs to y'all, all of that. And I was just like, yo, that meant a lot. And
it humbled the shit out of me because that was on a whim.
Listen, he could smack. Nah, he can't smack my mama. But listen, he has my full support.
Can't do no wrong. Nick Aldis can't do no wrong. So sorry.
So, all right, since we talking about Nick Aldis, let me ask you another question. The internet wasn't crazy. They felt that WWE did not do a good job introducing him.
Now, listen, everybody has, I feel like people just have this vision of what debut should be. And it's like he's an authority figure. Like, does he need this music? Does he need the pyro? And in all honesty, and that's the power of commentary, which I always try to push and push. Michael Cole ran that nigga's whole career down on commentary. Like, so it's that's the catch-22. When you're there live and you don't know, you don't hear, you're a little lost, and that happens. But I can say from watching on TV, commentary put him over. Commentary explained who he was. Yeah. And I just feel like people that thought that it needed to be this big thing, it didn't need that. Like, he's GM. Like, it doesn't have to. Felt that the audience, this ain't the Eric Bischoff, Stephanie McMahon era of GMs.
Because
like,
the flip side of it.
That.
People also say that, oh my gosh, I'm upset about these WWE fans. They don't want nothing outside of wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
that's their prerogative.
Basketball. I love basketball. There's certain people talk about looking like, I don't know who this is. I'll never deny his skills.
Right.
But I don't know who it is. Even like indie talent. When I be referencing certain people matches, whatever, I'm like, I don't know who these two people are. No offense though, but let me see what you got.
Right.
I'll never make a big deal because there are people who look at me and look like, I don't know who you guys are. And they might say, oh, I love those wrestling girls. That's okay.
Yeah, you like who you like, and that's fine. I just think that the whole, like, oh, it should have been a bigger deal. And it was just like, and then everybody's like, well, he should be wrestling and things like that. And it's like, yo, he's been on TV screen for 2 minutes. We don't even know what's going to happen.
But y'all forget, like, literally his resume is almost identical to Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like, you can't sweat it. I think Nick has a little bit of a bigger brand because he's a little bit younger. Yeah. But the thing is, at the end of the day, he was introduced. We'll see how they build him up and everything like that. But speaking of build-ups, we have to admit it that Edge is a product of WWE.
Absolutely.
He is not that mega superstar that we thought he was.
So it's so funny that I realized why I can't call him Adam is because they already got 2 other Adams, and that shit is confusing as fuck. So for me, I was like, he's always gonna be Edge, and that's just what it's gonna be.
So why you say what you said?
He's not moving the needle in AEW.
So reiterate your statement.
Certain people are products of the machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's Edge.
Okay, I'm listening.
And I don't want this to sound like, oh, I'm shitting on Edge.
Like you do Sarai.
Sarai, the bus pass with Sarai.
Okay.
But Edge is a product of WWE's machine. A couple reasons why.
You can tell from the promo from Collision.
But not even that. He never worked the indies.
Yes, he did.
Not like
when
in Canada. He was in Canada. Yeah, he worked the indies a little bit.
Yes, but not like how
I'm talking.
Not like Darby.
No, no. Because you know what? You're right. He did work the indies as a kid, as a teenager.
That nigga's more adulthood.
I don't want to deny that because you're all right. He was in Canada.
Look, Edge is not known in wrestling, only known in wrestling circles, not the mainstream.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. He worked the indies as a Canadian in Canada. Ain't niggas from the USA watching Canadian indie wrestling.
Quest said AEW needs Mercedes, so in order to bounce back from the CM Punk drone that are boycotting his firing. So I actually don't know if that's gonna move a needle for them.
Okay,
and
but
I say
I want
that
him to finish his point,
okay,
though.
I'll wait.
But
I'll
that's,
explain why.
So what I'm saying is that Edge is a product of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He spent literally his entire adult life up until now in WWE.
Even when he wasn't wrestling,
So
still was WWE.
He was still a WWE.
Superstar
He was still a
Edge.
WWE guy. He has never wrestled in any other promotion outside of WWE. That's number one. He's never worked the indies in his wrestling
The
career.
modern day indies.
That's what I'm saying. He's not like
even,
Darby,
but not
so it's not
even
even that.
back in the day. ROH when it was at his prime. Impact when it was at his prime.
Yeah.
He's never worked anywhere outside of WWE, and that's the reason why he's in AEW, because he wants to feel that what it's like to be outside of WWE. Now, because he is a product of the machine, and we only know him as a WWE guy, and most people, especially the heavy indie lovers that are majority is AEW fans, they're like, okay, is this Edge from WWE? They don't get that pop feeling from him. Now let's look at the people who got a big pop. Adam Cole. Why did he get a big pop?
Because he's big on the indie guy.
Daniel Bryan. Indie legend.
Guy.
And like how he hasn't been in these for years.
And exactly. So it just shows that majority of the fans for AEW are indie heads that found their alternative to WWE, which is fine.
Because now in their review
But
point,
now
like,
we are seeing the chink in Edge's armor right now. Because when you're with WWE, and we're seeing it with Jade, they make you bigger than life.
Like he was that guy.
Within that WWE universe. So that's what we're seeing right now. And the fact of the matter is, when he debuted and Collision didn't go up in ratings. And as much shit as I talk about CM Punk, we got to give it up to CM Punk.
That first 3 weeks, I think a Collision was probably the highest ratings they had, and Punk was on it. But to Ja's point about Mercedes, Sasha Banks. So the reason why I say it won't move the needle in that sense is because AEW doesn't have a blueprint plan, no pun intended, doesn't have a blueprint plan about how to build their women division. And that lack of being able to showcase women's wrestling will not help. Like, they don't, like, if you ask the average AEW fan, they don't give a fuck about women's wrestling, and you'll be glad to even get one women's match on a Dynamite or a Collision or a Rampage. So like, I just don't see, like, yeah, the pop will happen, and that's the thing. That's the issue with AEW, is they'll always go for instant gratification instead of focusing on how do we maintain to keep these fans happy. How do we keep them? Because you mentioned build-ups, and you mentioned that, and honestly speaking, what they're doing with Trick and Mello on NXT is just it is simple. It's classic Triple H and HBK. And it's blowing up, and it's a breath of fresh air in that sense. Yeah, it's the same kind of blueprint, but it's with two niggas that are friends, and you see the little details of how they drop certain hints and how they do certain things, especially with those two. And I just needed to highlight that for 2.5. But
Wait.
Quest asks, go ahead.
About the whole Edge situation.
Yeah.
My brother brought up a great point. Kyle tried to deny him. It was like, no, nah, blah, blah, blah. Jericho, but then Jericho worked the indies. Like, he did work. He went to New Japan. He's like also indie legend,
New
too.
Japan ain't indies. New Japan not indies, though. I wouldn't consider that indies.
But like how he did indie shows throughout the whole. He went to WCW, ECW. He worked the indies. Back in the day, indies. He worked a few territories. He was everywhere. He was one of those people who people tape trade for. So I can't even say Jericho is part of the system because he did it before. He went everywhere.
But I just think there's
you can't even say Mox because he was he disappeared for a couple of years, then he came back.
He was an indie guy.
He was an indie guy.
He was indie guy.
And he was wrestling when indie was at his when the indie game was at his prime.
Exactly.
And then somebody said Edge was in WCW. He was in WCW for 2.5 seconds.
I was about to say, somebody having
though.
a wrestling match on WCW Saturday night does not count.
Like people
Does not count.
like people
Because we can say the same thing about Austin and things like that. It was just like they were on for like a short period of time, and there was nothing about that. But to Quest's question, do you think Mercedes could change the dynamic for the women's division? No.
My brother just said it. No, because
No.
you could have She-Hulk, Wonder Woman, all these Marvel women, you got every best woman in there. But if you have no storyline, no structure, it will not do good.
No.
Period.
It's not good for the long term, because then once again, and that's the issue when you bring these, and it's like it's the catch-22 in wrestling, when you bring in these big star names that have these fans. Once again, those that have been in catering, been backstage, been with the company since the beginning, now they've lost another spot because this person has come in and taken their spot.
For example, Kiera Hogan, I barely see her.
I think she's on ROH.
But I barely hear
that's
about
fair.
her.
No, that's fair.
Nyla Rose, barely hear from her.
I just saw her do a clip. I think she just did did something like acting like Danhausen on Instagram.
Cool, but you're barely on there. Only time that I feel like how that she's on screen if you're an extra body. And that is no offense to her because she's a great wrestler. I enjoy her talent, but it's just you bring all these people. What are you doing with them?
Correct. It's the same, and it's granted Thunder Rosa is injured, and that's understandable. But once again, if y'all could give all these people that are injured TV time, regardless of the injury or not, you could do the same for the women's division, regardless. Like Jamie Hayter's been out, y'all should be building back her anticipation comeback. I shouldn't have to be sitting here thinking like, well, damn, when's Jamie coming back? And then y'all, but y'all put up a Danhausen little skit promo
every week
on Dynamite.
But I said it 2 weeks ago.
Huh?
I said it 2 weeks ago. I keep on saying this. It's proof. Now I have to give WWE credit. You know what? I have to give WWE credit because for the past, I give them a solid 2009 until now. They really invested into the women's division.
Absolutely.
Meaning that during the pandemic, people forget there was a 2-women's power trip. They had all the women's title at one point.
Sasha Banks and Bayley.
And they were dominating the pandemic. People might say, "Oh, it was a pandemic, nothing on." Doesn't matter.
Nah, that shit was hard.
As long as you get an opportunity, like if I give you this phone, I did my part by giving you the phone. What you do with after that is up to you.
All right.
So I feel like AEW, I said this before, Willow was a neverweight, first ever women's neverweight open champion, right? She was barely on screen like that. Eddie Kingston
Because she
has
was a whole other, yeah, go ahead, finish
Eddie
that.
Kingston has the
New Japan title.
New Japan title. They always advertise. He's on pre-shows, whatever. They make it a big deal. And I just feel like maybe their fans don't appreciate women's wrestling.
They don't. Their fans are, the demographic of AEW fans is white male, middle America that does not like women's wrestling. And that's let me be clear. That is okay because that is what they like and that's fair. But as somebody that wants to move the needle in that sense, you got to go with the times, sir. You can't sit here and now that Sheeta's been champion again, she's AEW Women's Champion now, and that she had faced, her trainer again, instead of just building her into a storyline. Then you have Toni Storm on the side that everybody's enjoying, but then you put the shit in picture every time. And granted, I get it's a silent picture, but damn, can I just get it one fucking time with full screen? That's all I'm asking is full fucking screen. Like, I don't get that. That's not a hard thing to ask for. But trying to think.
Simply do this before they easy do it in between matches.
Well, not even that.
No. Like how that best way to get her screen. 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. You get on her screen super quick instead of put a picture. Because when I see picture in picture, I'm walking away.
Yeah, I'm muted because it's on the wrong side of the TV screen, and I keep trying to tell Tony Khan, but Tony Khan don't want to fucking listen to me.
And another
that's
thing
fair.
too is I feel like difference between WWE and AEW. I like what they do on AEW, but you cannot treat them like wrestlers. You got to treat them like athletes. Meaning that, how can I maximize your exposure as you working for my company? Can I put you over here? Can I put you over there? You literally have a network behind you. I don't know why, outside of Cody, and when Jada was there, outside of really them two, I don't see none of these wrestlers outside of AEW. I should see, of course, Kenny Omega's video game stuff. He sticks to what he knows, but I feel like more wrestlers.
And you ain't heard nothing about. You haven't heard anything about that video game in a long time.
Right. Like I want to see a Daniel Garcia probably doing a promo for, what up, y'all? I'm in New York City. Blah blah blah.
Oh, he
blah.
did. Somebody did post that when he was at HOG. Somebody did post that.
Cool, but that's wrestling related. You feel me?
You want not, but that's the thing. That's not what they know. That's not what they were gonna be known for, and that's why essentially they lost Jade. That's exactly why.
Because like my thing is this: Daniel Garcia, yo, you told something simple. Yo, if you want the hardcore fans, yo, even though me as a New Yorker, I think this is respectful. Go to the Aquaman, with like kind of the Aki way. Go to him. Do all this stuff that'll get your wrestlers noticed outside of wrestling.
But that's not in their blueprint. I just want you to know that.
My thing is this: how can you grow the company?
Correct. Great question.
Because I even look at the NFL. Look at the NFL, right? You see these athletes and it's like other commercials do other things. Even like the retired basketball player, Iman Shumpert, right?
That's because they need money.
No. But like how that Iman Shumpert, what do they say? Former NBA player. He's still tied in with the NBA somehow. But these other wrestlers, I just feel like Kenny King. Yo, put these wrestlers on the Bachelor show, on these other shows.
You asking for a lot, low key.
But how am I asking for a lot? It's simple.
Because it's what's simple to you is not simple to him, and how he wants to put on matches that he wants to see every week on TV. Yo, that is it.
Cool. Tony, stick to the wrestling side. But you need somebody to advertise your wrestlers. Yep. You're paying them all this money for 15 minutes?
Yep.
Matter of fact, I give you more credit. Let's say that they do 3 other shows, right? In total, you're paying them all this money just to do 30 minutes for the week? You're not doing no house shows. You're not doing no signings like that. None of that.
Well, I mean, I can't. So I will give them not even a little credit. I will say though that they did have representation at Comic-Con this past weekend because Will was here.
Wrestling shit.
Hardy was here, but it's still at a non-wrestling thing.
But there's wrestlers there. They have wrestling booths though.
But the thing is, you go to Comic-Con. So when I think of somebody like me that's not into comics and things like that, so when I would hear about Comic-Con, I wouldn't go. That wouldn't interest me because I'm not into comics. But the moment I found out that they did have some type of wrestling representation, I was like, aha. Mm-hmm. But for somebody like me that doesn't like comics but likes wrestling, they're in that realm of comics. And now I get to see them. It's like a 2-for-1 thing. Or now I get to see them in a different realm, but yeah, it's still wrestling based. That's how I know them. I see what you mean. But I will say they do. It depends. They're very particular in terms of how they do that.
I see what you mean. Like you're saying that how that I get what you're saying, Yardley. Even though it has still wrestling heavy, it's still outside the ring.
Correct, and that was my thing. Okay. It's like, oh, I get to see them in this, and then not to big them up in that sense.
Someone said this.
They do a lot of like charity stuff. They do that, and they have representation of there for that. So
someone said, to be fair, whether it's sport, any other entertainment, most people don't become a fan as adult. They get into the fandom as a child. Yeah.
It depends.
It depends
on the person.
Because everybody's seen wrestling. Yeah. Everybody's seen wrestling, no matter what you said. And you can't say that because I know people who became Star Wars fans this year. I know people who became anime fans like 2 years ago. I know people who became NBA fans recently. Because you can't say, as a kid, it's easier. Yeah, but
so I will agree to Carlton's point. It is a lot easier to become, like, when the younger you are, the easier it is for it to be throughout your life. And I agree to that point because of the whole, like even down to learning a language as a kid. It is way harder to learn as an adult than as a kid.
I also see it this way, though, is who's going to spend the money?
I could get it. Well, that's
who's going to spend the money? You feel me? I know mad parents that never was into wrestling, but once a child watched it, they got into it.
Yeah, and that's why WWE's on their business side ended up going PG, because they saw that, the kids we had in the Attitude Era aren't kids anymore. They're adults now, and now they have kids. So we have to figure out how to get their dollars, because they're not a fan anymore, but their kids are fans now. And that's what normally brings adults back into the fold, is when their kids are fans. So that's why their demographic on their end, they cater towards the kids, because they're going to get the 2-for-1. They're going to get the kids that come, and they're going to get the parents that are going to spend the money. I'll never forget the mom we had saw in Dallas outside of the Superstore, had 4 little boys, 4 black kids, 4 black sons. She said she dropped almost $500 in that Superstore because each one of them wanted something. So like that's how WWE's been able to still be in that game where they're like, okay, these fans have grown up and they're still gonna be a fan, because that's just, they've had that since they're a kid. That's inside of them. Even though you'll meet people that be like, I haven't seen it since Stone Cold or The Rock or whatever. But if you bring them to a Legends or come to them to an indie show or anything to reignite that passion, their kids definitely helps that move fast forward, because now it's like, all right, I gotta take my kid to the holiday show. True. All right, I gotta take my kid here. I gotta take my kid here there.
I also feel like how reason why that WWE's like reason why that for me, it's easier to get a fan of anything if you have a compelling storyline behind it.
Absolutely.
Because how many times I watch basketball, they have some kind of story behind, but like, oh, can LeBron beat the Golden State this year? Blah blah blah. As long as you have compelling storylines, no matter what the age is, the person.
You could have just walked in front of the camera.
Like how that no matter what, you can always just as long as you put out good shit.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with AEW is they put out shit that come out very repetitive. It doesn't grasp you unless you're a hardcore fan.
Listen, they got my man Will Hobbs actually doing something. I like that.
So, as much as, and Will knows,
I said that. Someone said I also feel like mainstream media don't care about WWE. I said that. Yeah, I said that.
So as much as I love Will, it's hard for me to believe that story. Like I was thinking, like what? I was like, all right,
actually, I feel like all old wrestlers have that same storyline.
Same story.
Hey, when I was a kid,
I saw you and you turned your back on me, and I'm sitting here like, nigga, did they really? I was like, okay, listen. I've been
my grandmother raised me.
I've been wanting stories, so I got what I asked for. Just not in the context that I thought I was gonna get it in. But as we wrap up, let's say what's one of your favorite things that you saw in wrestling this week? And those that are on live feed can chime in on that as well. What's one thing that stuck out to you the most this week in wrestling?
Nick Young's mom.
God, I should have known that.
Oh. Thank you, Roman. Roman restored the balance in WWE. Look how many baby faces are in WWE because of Roman. Look at all these baby faces, Pete. Look how his crowd pop. My nigga, because of Roman, he rejuvenized so many people's careers. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn said this, yo, I want world championship. Yay! That wouldn't happen a couple years ago.
No, it wouldn't.
You feel me?
Thank you, Roman.
Jay Uso. Main event.
Yo, I'm not gonna.
Thank you,
I'm
Roman.
not gonna hold you. To see a crowd bounce up and down like that is just it is something I never thought could happen for him. And
thank you, Roman.
Happy
Come on,
for him for
little
that.
moment where Cody's looking at Roman Reigns. Thank you, Roman.
Thank you, Roman.
You feel me? His Jimmy coming on stage. Oh my gosh, he calls him tag team titles.
Thank you, Roman.
Yo, that was fucked up. Yo, I was now granted. I'm not like totally upset that the Judgment Day are tag team champions again. That's fine because it adds to the storyline, and I get it. But I was just like, damn, Jimmy, you had to, like, that was the caveat I didn't think was happening. Like, I thought it would have been Judgment Day fucking with them, and that's how they got. So the fact that Jimmy came out of nowhere and did that shit, I was just like, damn, bro.
Now, because of Roman, you care about factions on the main roster.
Thank you, Roman.
Oh, God.
Because of Roman, all three universes, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, are connected.
Thank you, Roman.
Now, the moment Roman ends up at NXT, then we can have that conversation.
Thank you, Roman Reigns.
Then we can talk about
he literally restored balance in WWE.
Roman's like Thanos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Roman is like Thanos out here.
Okay.
He came back and said, I'm here to do to bring balance.
I'm here to fuck shit up.
Because of Roman. Because of Roman, managers are hot shit right now in WWE.
Thank you, Roman.
Everybody's been eating good because of Roman. Ticket sales are up. Thank you, Roman. I'm talking about the niggas every stadium. They get hours because of Roman.
I'm upset because every fucking mania I've been to, that nigga's won. Quentin said on Friday when I saw him at HOG, he was like, yo, your Roman's good luck. I said, shut the fuck up.
Thank you, Roman.
I said, don't say that.
Roman Reigns moves the needle.
Thank you. And he gets people paid. This is why Roman Reigns have moved up in my top 5 greatest champions. To me, he's over bum-ass Hogan. You feel me? He's over John Cena.
He's not over Cena.
Who did John Cena bring up with him?
He's not over Cena.
Nobody.
He's not over Cena.
Nobody. John Cena was selfish.
I'm not even going to do that.
Roman put the whole
I'm not going to argue.
Like
I'm not going to fight that battle.
Hold on.
I'm not doing that.
Roman legit took WWE out of dark times.
Come on.
I'm not. So
and who put them in there? Cena.
Cena did not put him in dark times. Don't do that.
Cena. Because
Cena ain't do that.
No. Real talk. Let's be honest. During Cena's reign, how many people was on the Eagles level besides Randy, besides the old timers? No new wrestlers come up with Roman. I mean, with John Cena. He buried the Nexus.
He been broke Hogan's record, I think. He been over that.
Yeah, he been broke. He been broke.
I think he's like 2 or 3 right now.
You feel me? Nobody ate good when John Cena was on top. Nobody ate good.
John Cena said it himself.
And that's fine, but I'm not putting Cena. I'm not putting him over Cena.
Because of Roman.
Overall.
Because of John Cena, why don't Dolph have a job? Because of Cena. Why?
Zig does not have a job because of you can't do that.
Hold up.
No,
hold up.
We're not gonna do that.
Hold up. Why the Miz is not up there? He should have been up there. He should have more rings, more titles. Bobby Lashley came back. He wasn't like that until Roman came on.
Listen,
say, I want
stop
Roman.
touching me.
You feel me?
And no, I'm not agreeing with that. So I don't care what type of
Factions were dead when John Cena was on top.
They wasn't even doing factions then. Don't even
times.
do
It
that.
was dead. It was dead.
Times, baby.
It was dead.
Anyway, my favorite
times.
thing, I actually have 2. My favorite thing, as somebody did mention, was
Right there.
The
right
Raw.
there. John Cena picked up the Triple H Golden Shovel.
I'm not doing
Yup.
that.
Yup.
And
Yup.
you know what?
Alex
And
Riley
it's
fired
great
that guy
because that nigga was never a great wrestler. So let's not even act like, oh my God, he took out the greatest wrestler. No, Alex Riley is where Alex Riley should be, in a fucking fire truck, saving lives. Let him do
You
that
making
shit.
my point.
No, I'm not. I don't.
Niggas was
That's
starving.
your opinion.
Niggas
and
was
that's
starving.
fine.
Yo,
I'm not agreeing with that.
touching
I
when
don't
John
care.
Cena was up there, B.
I don't
touching.
care.
Roman.
I don't care.
Everyone's getting good,
I don't
B.
care. The Raw, the Fatal 5-Way that's gonna be happening in Saudi, I like. I like, but I don't like. Y'all already know I don't like too many niggas in the ring, but I do like that all the
love that
women.
kind of
I love that the women get to be highlighted in Saudi in that manner. So I do like that. The second thing, of course, is the Trick Mello saga. Like that shit on NXT. Halloween Havoc. They got a 2-week special coming up where night 1, which I believe is next coming Tuesday. It'll be Becky Lynch versus Tyra Valkyrie for the NXT Women's title. They're main eventing night 1.
Tyra Valkyrie.
That's her name though. It's the other Irish chick. It's not John Morris's wife.
Her name is Tyra Valkyrie?
Yeah, or Valkyria, or however you say it.
Valkyrie.
It's spelt the same, so no one can deny that. So they're main eventing night 1. Night 2 will be Mello versus Ilya Dragunov in the Loki I believe it's the rubber match because they've gone against each other 3 times. So their rubber match is the main event for night 2. Chase University getting the tag title shot was dope. They're still continuing the NXT Breakout tournament, which I'm upset that Jakara got. She's injured, so she's out of the tournament because she was my pick. Lyra, another. Irish born versus Irish born, so it's very interesting. And she had the whole story about how Becky, she looked up to her. She wanted to be the first ever Irish born NXT Women's Champion, and Becky took it away from her. So now she's like, "Fuck this bitch! I'm about to take this title." It's a great story.
It's like a woman's.
He hasn't broken Hogan's.
No, he hasn't.
No.
What's Hogan's days?
1474.
And where's Roman now?
Roman's like 11 something.
Really?
Is that combined for Hogan?
Oh, he'll definitely beat Hogan by Mania. Then.
No, it's January 1984 to February 1988.
So fuck.
The
That's
man
wild.
had the title for 4 years.
But by Mania, then he'll beat that.
He can't beat Bob Backlund though.
What's Bob's?
1978 to February 1978 to December 1983. That's 5 years.
Oh.
And number 1 is Bruno Sammartino. Ain't nobody beating that one.
30 years,
Bostic,
right?
I'm still recording. Sir. He probably doesn't know he called me. It's fine. But yeah, NXT's been doing a really good job. So the next 2 weeks is their Halloween Havoc.
Don't think Roman for Bobby. Thank him from the factions. I did. I did.
Thank you, Roman.
How you feel about Vince McMahon boss basically saying that stay out of creative?
That's fine. That's okay.
It should be that way.
Yeah, it should be.
I agree with him.
I mean,
fine.
Triple H is doing a good job. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's the first time, I said this before, it's the first time that Vince has a boss. My thing is this. You did all of this trickery, Vince. You could have been chilling. But you did all this trickery, but now turning around and basically saying that you're going to do your job.
They want Vince to focus on the TV right deals, and that's what he's going to focus on. He's going to focus on letting WWE get the most money that they possibly can get. Oh, he actually did call me.
No, that's Nick Khan's job.
No, but that's what they were saying in the article. Like, they want Vince on board so that he can help facilitate those deals. Like, they want him involved in that,
okay.
and they don't want him involved in creative. They
it
want
doesn't
him
make
involved
sense,
on
though.
the business side.
Like,
Bostic, I can't see you.
Like how that, it doesn't make sense for Vince to be in his meetings because Vince is still larger than life. It's like the NFL having Jay-Z. It's good for PR because everybody loves Jay-Z.
Still for the Super Bowl. That's how niggas is getting Usher. But all right, any last thoughts before we do sign off? Are y'all recording next week? Are y'all gonna do your thing?
We'll finish it.
All right. The boys will be here next week. I won't, unfortunately, because I will be celebrating Michael Bostic's 40th birthday. So make sure to please shout him out next Saturday. Even though he may not respond till Monday because we're gonna be on a whole ass cruise. So he may not be able to respond, but make sure to shout him out. The next time, are we doing Crown Jewel or no? Okay, so the next time we'll be back at Legends, we'll be for Full Gear, and then I believe the weekend after that is Survivor Series. We'll be in Chicago, so make sure to come out support. Two things I'm asking everyone. I'm gonna ask Brooklyn Blacc to post it on the Facebook group. He's trying to get a street name after his dad. It's a really important thing for him, so make sure to support him. And if you guys can just do the signatures, that would be greatly appreciated. I do want to once again thank Brian XL for coming on last week and giving those gems out. It was really, really great of him, and we thank him for that. Last but not least, those wrestling girls anniversary event November 4th, I believe. Yeah. So make sure to hit them up for more information on that. Last but not least, my girl Britt Waters got her own spirit out. So make sure to support her. She just had an event to promote Brit's Spirits. So I will tell her to be posting that information on the group as well. I just wanted to shout her out real quick because once again, that's a Black woman-owned business. I wanted to make sure she got that love and support. Quest said, final thoughts, John Cena turn, Michael Tarver until school security guard. Great for him. Great. Listen, true callings. Okay? As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Blacc. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag we are.
So we got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.